Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Happy Wednesday. I believe it's Wednesday today. Losing track of days already. Today we're going to be doing part one. That's right, I've split the pack up into two because it's such a lot to do in this pack. You don't want to be watching an hour-long video, so I thought I'll split it up into two. But we're going to be doing pack 9 of the Agora Models release of Build the Routemaster Bus. Now, pack 9 consists of stages 81 to 90, and in today's video, in part 1, we're going to be doing stages 81 to 85. Loads to do in this one, so you can imagine what we've got coming for the rest of it. But by the end of this pack, you are going to have pretty much the whole bus together. And then we're starting to do the cladding on the outside, a little bit more windows, lots more detail, but you are going to be impressed with what we've done because I've actually already built up to 85 already, and I can't wait for you to see how that looks. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link here to the Agora Models website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But without further ado, let's get cracking on the first part of pack 9. So it all starts with stage 81, which is the back wall panel. Now, I just want to show you that this is the top deck. What I've actually done in this, if I turn it over, is I've disconnected all of the wires that come out here towards the side of the bus. These are going to be easy to connect later, but I don't want them getting in the way while I'm actually working on this, because this pack mainly deals with this top deck, and then we will be putting everything back together again. So I just wanted to show you how that looks just for a second, because I'm going to bring over this section here, and this is what we worked in stage 74. Remember, we had this lens cover in here as well, just like that. Now, we also need one of the leads. This is the end lead, and this is attached to the strip lighting that we've got on the top deck. So you just need to unplug the end lead looking like that from that set of lights. And quite simply, first thing I'm going to do is push the bulb. Oops, that's just fallen out. Push the bulb into the end there, just like that. And we're going to fold that up like that. Oops, doesn't matter if it keeps coming out. That's going to be held in place just in a second, because what I'm going to do is actually attach this to the top deck. So hopefully this can be seen. Just holding this in here. This is actually just going to go along this part, just like that there. Now, as for screws, we're going to be putting JP screws in these 3 holes here, and an FM screw just in that hole there. So there you go. That's nice and in place, and nice and secure. Now, in pack 81, we do have, as you can see, the back section of the top deck, which I'm going to take out now. And quite simply, this is just going to be going onto the back section of the bus, just like this. So it's inside these points here. So one side on here, and the other side on here. And then they're going to be held in just with some JP screws. So 2 of these each side. That's one side done. Turn this round and just put 2 in on the other side. And then in the back here, we've got 2 J screws just going into this section here. So that's the back on. All we're going to do now is just put these upright poles in. Now, they have got a slant just on the edge, so I need to make sure I match that slant with the pegs that are on the seat, so that they can go in nice and smooth. Now, I want to make sure these go in with no problems at all, so I am going to coat each peg with a little bit of oil just to get that in. Now, when the roof's on, that's actually going to stop them falling back out. And there you go. They're all fitting nice and flush in there, and that is all there is to do in that stage. Now, in stage 82, we're going to be starting to build the roof of the upper deck here. So, get all these out. And the first thing I'm going to do is going to be putting some of these post holders, which have got sort of like a mouse hole, sort of, God, I can't describe things, can I? Pattern. They're just going to go into, they are D-shaped actually, so D-shaped shapes just into here. There's 4 of these to put in. And they're going to be held in from the other side with DP screws. Press quite firmly on the back of them because you don't want to have them spinning. You want them in that way because they are kind of angled for the posts when we put those into these slots. There's 4 of these to do. This is the last one going in here. Perfect. So that looks just like that. Now we're going to be putting the lights in. So turning it this way around, we've got the lenses. They're not actually LEDs, but they're going to go into the sides here. There's 4 of these. But they're going to be held in with some adhesive strips. Let's get the last one in here. Now these are the adhesive strips here. So it's just a case of putting them each side of the lens. And there you go. That's what that looks like when they're in. And that's what it's looking like from the other side. And we do have some advertisement strips here, which we just want to save for the next stage. So stage 83 here is the upper deck ceiling. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the plate, which is going to house the advertising panel. That's just going to go onto this section just here. So line it up, make sure it's round the right way. Just like that. It does sort of sit at an angle there. And it's going to be secured in with JP screws. That's 1. 2 JP screws. And there's the second one. Perfect. So from the top it's going to look like that. Now it would have probably been easier to put this on before we actually screwed this in, but I'm going to put it on now. This is the advertisement that's going on. I say advertisement, it looks like it's more like a public service information piece, just saying to please avoid the rush hours, and it gives you the time when the rush hour is on, as you can see there. Very clever. We've got some more posts to put in for those poles that we're putting on the upper deck. Handrails, poles. I don't know about official names. There you go. Once again, those 2 are held in with the DP screws, just like in the last stage. And in a similar fashion to what we did in the last stage, once again, we're going to push these lenses into the holes at the side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then once again, we're going to hold them in with these sticky pads. So that's held in the lenses there. We have got some more sticky advertisement pads, which again I'm going to put to one side, because what we are going to do is use these IP screws that we've got in a bag here, and we're going to link the 2 sections that we've just created together. So this is going to be going on top of this section just like that there. Get it all in the lip and put the IP screws just into the gaps there. Now I'm not pushing down too hard on these. I'm actually letting the screw do the work. I do want this to sit flush though. That's number 3. And lastly, this one here is number 4. And with that all completed there, just making sure all my sticky pads are still down, that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 84, quite a bit in this one. We've got the upper deck ceiling again. This is the last part of that. And we've also got the handrails for the stairs. As you can see, more advertisements here. I'm just going to keep that to one side. More sticky pads for the lenses. So we can probably just whiz through this section now. Once again, we're going to be putting the handrail little stoppers in, or mounts. This time we've got 3 of these. And once again, these 3 are held in with DP screws. And there you go. That's all 3 of those in. And in a similar vein, we're going to turn it over and push the lenses into the sides here. That's 1, And two, just two this time. And in a similar fashion, take the adhesive strips to hold them into place. Perfect. So now that looks like that. Put that to one side because we're going to make a mirror now. So to do that, we're going to need the base of the mirror here. And we have actually got what the mirror looks like. God, I remember this. This just takes me right back to the old bus days. The old spherical mirror. Okay, so that's going to go in just like that. Turn it over. It's going to be held in from the other side with a CP screw. I love this level of detail. This is great. Okay, tighten that. Not too tight. And then we're going to be putting this into the little gap that we've got into this cutout section of the top deck ceiling that we already just created. So it's actually going to go on when I've got it in just like that way round. Now it's going to be held in with a DP screw, and there we go, that goes in like that. So from the inside, you see we've got a mirror up there. Excellent. And then in a similar fashion to what we just done, we're going to bring over the rest of the roof. This is going to be going on this section here, once again held in with IP screws. So there you go, that's the whole of the upper deck completed with the mirror there. I can just put that to one side just for a second and bring over the top deck again. And I'm going to be attaching this handrail here to the inside edge. If I put this on its side here actually, like that, into the inside edge, just like this here. Perfect. Now that's going to be held in with some of these silver BP screws. Very hard to get your screwdriver in here, but I've got one in. Let's put the rest in. Now we have got to put two in just here. Not quite sure how I'm going to get the screwdriver in there, but I will figure that out. In fact, I think it will just about fit. Yep. Very tricky. So the second handrail is going to be going onto the other side of this. It's probably best to me to get this in first and show you how this is located, because it's going to go inside the inside wall here. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm going to kind of turn it on its side. Because it's actually held in, I don't know if you can see on the bottom here where my finger is. Probably not. There we go. Just there. It's going to be held in just underneath there with the BP screws. That was definitely one of those things that could have been done before we before we attached this back piece, because trying to get a screwdriver in there was a living nightmare. So I had to use one of the little tiny ones in the end. But there we go. That's all the rails in place. Put this to one side and bring up the full top deck again, because we're going to be putting these advertisements in place. Now remember, we want to put them in upside down, and we've got 3 lots of adverts, so basically all we're going to do is we're going to alternate them along the side here. So I'll take one of these avoid the rush hour ones, and these are just going to go into the centre here across the centre join like that. Then the next one, Sportsman London. Again, make sure it's upside down. It's going to go here. Try and keep it in the same sort of vein as we did with the other ones. Keep it straight to that edge as well. And then London's Country, which will go here. And we just repeat that down the bus. The one at the back closest to the mirror does actually go over the join, otherwise it will be interfered with the light there. So that should look like that. But there you go. That's all of those little advertisements in place. I could put this to one side. Now, as you see, we've got some advertisements left. These are actually going to go on the bottom deck, and I've actually put a bit of the instructions on the screen. I don't actually have that in the workshop at the moment because I thought we were dealing with the top deck. So I will do this afterwards, but I just wanted to show you what this actually looks like. Okay, so in stage 85, we're going to do the framework for the upper walls of the upper deck. So I'll get all these out. All of this is metal, I can tell that by the weight. And the first section we need looks just like that. Again, all metal. I'm going to be careful, I haven't put a mat down for this, but I'll get that there. We have got some glazing here to put in. So the first bit is going to be going into this section just like that there. Now that's going to be held in with EM screws. Don't do it too tight because you don't want to shatter that glazing. So now that's in and it looks just like that. Put that to one side. Just going to take this other bit of frame out because we have got two sliding bits of window here. As you can see, it has got some flashing on it, so we need to cut that flashing off. Got my sprue cutters here, just like that. 1 and 2. Bringing over one of these panels. Now this panel here is plastic, just so you know. So what I'm going to do is going to take one of these sliding windows with the metal strip up the top there. And we're actually going to make sure that we can run this in the channel that's there. So this can actually go up and down in this section just like that. Now this whole section we need to put on to what we've just been creating before here. So the way this goes into this panel, it goes in from the front. So I'm offering it this way because I don't want that to do what it just did and fall out. So then that's in just like that. Perfect. Now we're going to hold that in from this side with 2 DP screws. So one there. Let me just move that window out the way. And one on the other side there. This can go in quite tight, but that's still able to go up and down, as you can see. Okay, we're then going to be taking another bit of glass here, looking like that. And that's just going to go on either side of this section there. Once again, that's going to be held in with OP screws. And we need 4 of these. So now that is looking just like that. Put that to one side because we're going to be doing exactly the same on this part of the frame here. So once again, put this window into the tracks here, 1 and 2. Then once again, DP screw in here. That's 1 and 2. Make sure this goes up and down, which it does, no problems. Put the other pane in just here. And once again, that's held in with the OP screws. So once again, that's the other window done here. And as you can see, it goes up and down, no problems at all. Now we want to piece these 2 bits of frame together. So we've got this one on this side and this one on that side. They're just going to go together just like that. They're held together with 2 FM screws. That's 1 and that one's 2. So now those 2 pieces are together just like that. Put that to one side. You want to take these 2 bars here and some window winders. All we're going to do is making sure it's this way round. I'm going to put a window winder in this side. It's just a push in. Like that. And do the same on the other side. bring over the deck, and I will just put this on the side to show you what I'm doing. These are going to go into the points here and at the back here. So one in here like that. Just push them over the lugs that I've got there. And we do the same with the one next to it. So it's actually these two, not this one over here. I'm sure we're going to have some later on for those ones. That's 1 and 2. Now when obviously the sides go on here, that's what's going to hold these in. But that is all there is to do in that stage. So there you go, that's the first part of pack 9 completed, and I'll do the second part next week. Now the advantage of breaking that up into 2, it does mean that I can do an extra video this week. So on Friday, I am going to be releasing the Agora Models pack 4 of the Lamborghini Miura. So look out for that on Friday. That should go up around morning time, I reckon. Hopefully morning time, we'll have to see. But I really do hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.